Young teenage high school love always seems like it's going to last forever. High school is so very fun. We have pep rallies, football games, dances, after parties, and it's especially fun when you have a significant other to share all the wonderful memories with. However, what happens when the high school star football player falls for the young blonde cheerleader? At first, their relationship is amazing and wonderful. They are madly in love with each other. Then their relationship turns extremely weird. Their relationship involves a kidnapper, a stalker, and finally a killer. Let's find out what happens when teenage love turns deadly right now. Wednesday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne-Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carencro, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne-Marie. And as always, thank you all for joining me on this Wicked Wednesday evening as we discuss another true crime case. How are y'all doing on this Wicked Wednesday evening? I hope y'all are all having a great evening so far. And thank y'all once again for joining me to discuss another true crime case. Now, the case I'm going to be discussing today is very hard on me. And I wanted to discuss the case for the past several years, but I just didn't want to because, as y'all know, I have two teenage girls, and I also have a teenage daughter who is, in fact, a cheerleader, and her middle name is Jane, like the story I'm about to cover. So I always kind of, steered clear of this case, but I just feel like I have to cover this case because I want to bring awareness to what happens when teenage love turns deadly. Today, I'm taking y'all back to November of 2016 in Knoxville, Tennessee, where a brutal murder of a teenage girl took place. Emma Jane Walker was born on March 20th, 2000 in Knoxville, Tennessee to her parents, Mark and Jill Walker. Emma was loving, beautiful, and extremely compassionate, and had dreams of becoming a neonatal nurse. She loved to be around children. She loved animals. She loved everything that deals with life. Emma loved cheerleading, competitive cheer, competitive dance, and gymnastics as well. In the fall of 2014, Emma was the only freshman to be accepted into the Central High School cheerleading team. She was over the moon, just filled with joy to make the cheerleading team for her high school. She was happy, she was excited, and as I watched several videos of Emma Jane, she loved goofing around. There are several videos of her doing the worm, dancing, making up songs, making up dances, just having fun. She was a beautiful, happy, just all lit up inside teenage girl. In the fall of 2014, Emma Jane catches the eye of Central High School star football player William Riley Gall. William was born in 1998 in Knoxville, Tennessee to his parents. He was being raised by his mom and his grandparents. Riley was extremely quiet and reserved, not your typical behavior for a star football player. However, his friends did say he also had a goofy side and loved joking around. Emma and Riley start to date. However, there is a problem at the beginning of their relationship. Riley does in fact have a girlfriend at the time, but he quickly breaks up with his girlfriend to date Emma. Emma's sweet, happy, loving, and is madly in love with Riley. They have a great relationship, and we all know how that is at the beginning of a relationship, especially high school, when you have all this passion, all this feeling, and you just want to be around that person 24/7. You just can't take it. You just want to have them all to yourself all the time. Normally, that's teenage love, and they were crazy about each other. When I looked at Emma's social media, she had several pictures of she and Riley. They were doing several activities such as paddleboarding. And Emma wrote in the comments how lucky of a girl she was to be with Riley. They just loved each other. Emma's parents loved Riley at first. They said he was very well-mannered, very nice looking, and treated their daughter like a queen. They loved him. However, things started to unravel in the spring of 2015 when Riley informed Emma that he was going to be taking his ex-girlfriend to their junior prom and Emma to his senior prom. Now, let me pause right there, y'all. That wouldn't be happening with me, Anne-Marie. No, 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 no. You're not going to be dating me for 6 months and then take a whole nother girl to the prom, especially your ex-girlfriend. No, not happening. And that's especially what happened with my teenage daughters. If I found out that was going on, I would tell them they got to skedaddle, get rid of that boyfriend. I wouldn't even want him around me or in my house. You're not going to do that to my daughter. You're not going to date my daughter for 6 months and then bring a whole nother girl to the prom. No, nope. Then family members started to notice that Riley started to become very obsessive and clingy with Emma, telling Emma what she could and could not wear, telling Emma where to go, where she could go, where she couldn't go, wanting to control Emma's every move. Her family started to get extremely worried about Emma and knew that Riley was extremely clingy and very, very possessive of Emma. Riley was so controlling over Emma that he would sit outside of her work for hours just waiting for Emma to get off. He was so worried about what she was doing and where she was going. He would also speak terribly to Emma, isolating her from all her friends. When her mom checked her messages one time, her mom found something extremely disturbing. It was a message from Riley to Emma that said, "You are dead to me. I will check the obituary for you." Also told her F you, that she was the biggest B he had ever seen. And let me tell you something, as a mother, that wouldn't fly with me. I often do check my kid's cell phone. Well, not my 19-year-old, but my 13-year-old, I do in fact check her phone. And if I found something like that in her phone, that would be a huge red flag to me. Emma's family had enough of Riley. They banned Emma and Riley from seeing each other. They even took away Emma's phone. However, as we all know, teenagers will find a way to see each other or communicate. Riley bought Emma an iPod Touch and they would communicate through text through the Wi-Fi. Nothing was going to stop Emma and Riley from being together. However, in the fall of 2016, their relationship really started to go downhill. This is when Emma realized how controlling and possessive Riley truly was towards her. Some type of incident happened at Emma's home. The family had surveillance cameras around the home and something happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but the family finally banned Riley completely and told Emma, "You are not going anywhere. We are grounding you from everything. You could only leave the house for school activities and for school." They wanted Riley completely out of Emma's life. And Emma finally started to realize that she and Riley's relationship was very unhealthy. She wanted to get out of the relationship, but she truly didn't know how, because she knew she couldn't just break up with Riley. It couldn't just be like, let me just stop talking to you, stop communicating with you, it's done. She knew it's going to have to be a gradual breakup, like slowly starting to get away from Riley. At this time, Riley had already graduated from high school and was about 30 minutes away. He received a football scholarship to a college, so he wasn't around Emma 24/7. So Emma started to think, I could have a life without Riley, especially now that he is out of town. Then things become extremely weird when the cops call Emma's parents and tell Emma's parents that Emma is out past curfew. It is after midnight and cops find Emma talking to Riley outside of her friend's home. They're in a car. And the cops see this, so now Emma's parents are extremely upset and they tell Emma, no more Riley. And this is when Emma's like, okay, the relationship is completely done. Riley isn't taking the breakup well. It was said that he took pills, tried to end his life. It was said by his friends that when Riley wouldn't get his way, he would become extremely suicidal. So his friends were very worried about Riley and his behavior. One night, Emma decides to go to a party after her high school team beat their rival team. They're having fun, they're hanging out. Then all of a sudden, Emma starts to receive these very weird, strange text messages saying things like, "We have someone you love, and if you don't come outside right now, we are going to harm them." Emma is skeptical because she's like, this is a random number that I don't know. And Riley and I just broke up. I bet it's one of his friends playing a joke on me. Then the next text message says, If you don't come outside right now, that means you don't value this person's life. It's pretty sad that you would let us harm someone that you love. So Emma is like crying. She's freaked out. She tells her friend, let's go outside. Something's going on. When they walk outside, they see a dark figure, a body, laying face down in a ditch. When they come closer to the person, they see that it is, in fact, Riley. He's holding his head up. He looks confused. He looks around like, how did I get here? What happened? Emma's like, really? We just broke up. Why are you here? This is weird. And he says, I don't know what's going on. All I know is somebody knocked me out. They put me in a van and they kidnapped me and they must have dropped me off here. Emma's not buying it. She walks away. She wants nothing to do with Riley. Riley calls one of his friends to come pick him up. And the friends don't even believe him, because when the friends tell him, look, Riley, somebody kidnapped you. We have to call the police. He's like, oh, no, we're not going to get the cops involved. We're not doing that. And then things become even more suspicious when all of a sudden, the next day, a person wearing all black is stalking Emma, banging on her front door, trying to get inside the house, and Emma is completely alone and very freaked out at this time. Like, who is trying to break into my home all dressed in black? What's going on? Emma was very scared at this time. And get this, y'all. While Emma and her friend are driving into her neighborhood, they see this person all dressed in black. And Emma's friend says, gosh, that looks like Riley. But they just ignored it. They didn't think anything of it. Then when this person started banging on Emma's door, Emma thought to herself, who could this be? She was terrified at this point. But her friend said to herself, I bet that's Riley, and drove by the neighborhood pool. And according to several people, Riley would park by this neighborhood pool when he would walk to see Emma. And the friend says that she saw Riley's car by the neighborhood pool. So she figured it was Riley dressed in all black. Emma's freaking out at this point. Someone's trying to get into her home. So who does she call? She texts Riley and says, I hate you, but I need you right now. That someone's trying to break into her home dressed all in black. Riley texts her back, I'm rushing, I'm speeding, I'm coming. Just stay there. I'm almost there. I'm going to be right over. Riley shows up. Emma's outside. They're talking outside. And all of a sudden, Emma's mother, Jill, shows up, tells Riley, you are not allowed here and you need to leave. Riley does, in fact, leave. He is very sweet. He just says, okay, no problem, and he goes away. Emma is freaked out at this point, tells her mom exactly what happened. And get this, that night, Emma tells her family to please turn the alarm on. She is terrified of the person that tried to break into their home. But in my opinion, does she think it's Riley? Does her friend call her and say, hey, I saw Riley's car by the pool. It was Riley that tried to break into the house. Who knows? The very next day on November 21st, 2016, Emma wants to wake up early to wash her hair. Emma tells her mom, Jill, to wake her up early. Jill walks into Emma's room around 6 a.m. to wake up her daughter. She says her name. She taps her leg. Emma does not move. She's like, that's weird, because Emma is never a heavy sleeper like this. She could not wake up her 16-year-old daughter. As Jill moves closer and moves the covers, she notices that her 16-year-old daughter, Emma Jane, is pale. Her lips are blue. She's not breathing and she's not responsive. Jill freaks out and calls 911 and screams to them that her 16-year-old daughter is unresponsive and to please hurry and get to their home. The police, as well as the ambulance, rush over to Emma Jane's home. They speak to the parents and they ask the parents, did y'all hear something? What's going on? She's not responsive. The father, Mark Walker, tells the police that around 3 a.m. he was awoken by a strange noise. He said he got up, he looked around the home, checked on both children, Emma and her little brother, and didn't see anything. Saw they were both sleeping and just went back to bed. He didn't know what the noise was. While the police are photographing the home, they find a very hole in Emma's wall near where she lays her head at night. And they look around and they say, gosh, that looks like a bullet hole right here. What is this? They walk outside of the home and they see another hole. Looks like someone shot into Emma Jane's room. They also find 2 shell casings. Now they realize this was no suicide. This was no accident. This was, in fact, a homicide. 16-year-old Emma Jane Walker is pronounced deceased from a gunshot wound behind her ear. Her home is now a crime scene, and several people thought to themselves that her ex-boyfriend, 18-year-old Raleigh Gall, was in fact the killer. Raleigh is informed about Emma's death, and he is very distraught, very upset. He's crying. His mom and his grandparents have to go to his home to check on him. They are worried about him. He's posting all over social media how much he loves Emma. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. It's very obsessive. He goes on and on about how he's going to live life through Emma. It's just overly done. Friends informed police that Raleigh had taken his grandfather's gun days earlier. Raleigh needed tires for his car, so his grandfather drove up to the dorm to switch cars with Raleigh to go get Raleigh some tires. So Raleigh was left with his grandfather's vehicle, and there was a gun always kept in that vehicle. Friends say that Raleigh took that gun, and the reason he told his friends he took the gun was he needed it for protection. He was worried about his kidnappers and worried about the stalker that was trying to break into Emma's home. So this is why he had the gun. And when his grandfather noticed that the gun was missing, he questioned Raleigh about it. Raleigh says, I do not have the gun. His grandfather grew very concerned as he knew that Raleigh was very upset about the breakup and knew that Raleigh was suicidal. So he called Raleigh's mom. Raleigh's mom questioned about the gun. Raleigh said, I don't have this gun. I did not take this gun. It is not in my possession. 16 hours after the death of Emma, the police wanted to interview Raleigh. He comes in, and when they question him, he acts like he doesn't know what's going on. They ask him, what have you been doing the past couple of days? He acts like he doesn't remember. He tells police that he had been trying to contact Emma all weekend, but his number was blocked. He did say that Emma said that she would talk to him if he would help her with a paper that she was writing for school. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if, that could be true. I don't know. Raleigh did say that he was using other people's phone to contact Emma, but then Emma told him that he was going to stay blocked. She wanted nothing to do with him. She wanted nothing to do with their relationship. She wanted everything to be over, that she still did love him, but she knew that their relationship could not continue. Raleigh said he cried and cried and cried. He was very upset. All he wanted to do was be with Emma. But Emma finally told him, our relationship is not going to work and you need to move on. You need to go on life without me. Raleigh says all weekend he cried and cried and cried, just staring at pictures of Emma. He could not get over their breakup. And I'm going to tell y'all something right now. When someone tells you they don't want you in their life anymore, walk away. We all been through a breakup. We all know how it is. I've been through it, and it's not easy. You cry and you sit there and you wonder, why doesn't that person want to be with me? What did I do? What can I say to get that person back? But when a person doesn't want to be with you, let them walk away. It is their loss, not yours. It is going to be hard, but time heals all wounds. I promise you, you're going to be okay. It will take time. Take time to grieve. Take time for the loss. But once you are ready, you're going to be okay. I promise you. The cops informed Raleigh that his friends told them that Raleigh was in possession of his grandfather's gun. He denies it. The cops also tell him that one of his friends told them that Raleigh had asked him how to get fingerprints off a gun. Raleigh denies that as well. Raleigh straight up asks the cops, hey, y'all have treated me like a suspect. Am I a suspect? They said, should you be? Raleigh says, no, I would never harm someone I love, and I especially wouldn't harm Emma. I did not commit this crime. The police allow Raleigh to leave, but they have a feeling Raleigh committed this crime. As soon as Raleigh leaves the police station, he texts and calls his friends, hey, why did y'all talk to the police? Why did y'all say this? Why did y'all say that? What's going on? His friends straight up asked him, hey, where's your grandfather's gun that you told us you had? And Raleigh says, I don't have it anymore. At this point, they knew Raleigh committed this crime, and police needed that gun. So the police wanted Raleigh's friends to work with them, and Raleigh's friends agreed. They wore a wire and they put a video camera in a keychain and went to Riley's home, and they started talking to Riley. Riley says, I did not commit this crime. I do not have the gun. The reason why I had the gun in the beginning was for protection against the kidnappers and the stalker that was at Emma's home. He tells his friends, they are going to say I committed this crime. I got to get rid of that gun. We got to go do something with that gun. I can't have that gun around anywhere. So he tells his friends, if they are not busy, if they can go with him and get rid of this gun, because there's no way he's going to go to jail for something that he did not do. Riley tells his friends, hey, when y'all speak to the cops again, tell them y'all were drunk, tell them y'all were on the LSD, tell them y'all were on drugs, tell them anything. Just tell them that you know what you were saying when you were talking to them, that it was all made up. I mean, he was just beside himself at this point because he knew he was going to get arrested for the murder of Emma Walker. He tells his friends, look, I didn't commit this crime, but we got to get rid of this gun. But if you didn't commit the crime, why are you worried about a gun? Why are you worried about hiding the gun? He informs his friends, hey, let's go to the bluffs in Tennessee near the Tennessee River and get rid of the gun. And this is a place where all the teenagers would hang out. They would go drinking, they would go partying, they would have fun. And Riley was going to throw the gun, I'm guessing, in the Tennessee River. So all the friends say, okay, let's go. They jump into the car. Riley says, well, first, I got to stop at my stepdad's house to get the gun that's in the basement. It's been hiding there. Didn't Riley tell people that the gun was back at his grandfather's house? And did he tell the cops that he didn't even have possession of the gun? All a lie. Riley gets back into the car. The gun is in a trash bag. The friends see the gun. And cops are following them the entire time. The friends are acting like nothing's happening when the whole time they're working with the police. The police pull over the vehicle, tell all of the friends to step out of the vehicle, including Riley. Riley is then arrested. 18-year-old William Riley Gall is arrested and charged with the murder of 16-year-old Emma Walker. However, he is not talking. Riley is saying he did not commit this crime, that he did not take the life of 16-year-old Emma. But cops believe that he did, in fact, commit this crime. Cops also find other evidence inside the trash bag. Black shoes, gloves, black clothing, and they believe this was Riley. Do you remember the stalker, the kidnapper story of Riley being all in black, laying in the ditch, and this person trying to get into Emma's house wearing all black? They believe that Riley Gall was the kidnapper, was the stalker, that it was him the whole time committing these crimes. He did not get kidnapped. There was no stalker at Emma's home. Police believe it was 100% 18-year-old Riley Gall. Police believe this is the gun that in fact killed 16-year-old Emma Walker. Riley's attorneys are saying that Riley was there that night, and that he did fire shots into Emma's room, but that he wasn't trying to kill her, that he was trying to scare her enough for Emma to say, oh my gosh, there are gunshots in my room. Let me call Riley and Riley's going to save me. But that he did not intend to kill Emma that night. Could that be true? Maybe. I don't know. Do I think it's true? No. I do believe in my heart that Riley just couldn't take it. He could not be without Emma. He wanted her in his life. And if he couldn't have her, no one could have her. So the only thing left that he thought that he could do was to murder his 16-year-old ex-girlfriend, Emma Jane Walker. But he says that he was just trying to scare her that night. And a lot of people say that could be true because, you remember, he dressed all in black and was trying to break into Emma's home to scare her. And what did she do? She called Riley and said, hey, I hate you, but I need you to come over here and rescue me. So maybe in his mind, he did think that, but I highly doubt it. He knew the layout of that home. He knew where Emma's head would be resting. He was in that home for the past 2 years. If he wanted to scare Emma, don't y'all think he was shot in a different area of the home, of the room? He wouldn't have shot right there, but who knows? But in my opinion, he did in fact go over there that morning to take the life of his ex-girlfriend, Emma Walker. Riley Gall is found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. He will not be eligible for parole until I think 51 years. He would be in his 70s at the time. So in my opinion, Riley Gaul is never getting out of prison. And I just want to tell y'all that he wasn't in his right mind. Something wasn't right with Riley because he went through a lot of trouble to try to get Emma back, but nothing was working. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but this was days. This all happened within days. I mean, I think it was like 8-9 days. All of these crimes are being committed. The stalker, the kidnapper, constantly calling Emma. It all happened within days. So Riley had planned all of this. And when he realized he couldn't get Emma back, that is when I believe that he took Emma's life. And my thoughts and prayers are with Emma's family. I hope they remember all the good times they shared with Emma. My final thought, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is, nothing is worth taking the life of someone. Nothing. Nothing is worth taking your life or someone else's. If you can't get over a breakup, there are people that can help you. There are counseling, therapy, groups. You could speak to friends and family. Y'all can always email me. I would be glad to help y'all. But do not resort to taking someone else's life or your own. We have all been through a breakup. We all thought it was the end of our rope. Like, what are we going to do? We can't live without this person. We want this person. But time heals everything, and you can get through it. I promise you, if I can get through it, you can get through it. I'm a victim of domestic violence. I went through a terrible, terrible relationship. But now I'm in a happy, healthy relationship with a wonderful man. I love him so much. He loves me. He takes care of me. He always checks on me throughout the day. He wants to know if I'm okay. He wants to know if I ate, if I slept, what I'm doing, what time I'm going to be home so we can talk on the phone. It's a wonderful relationship, and a relationship that I love so much. He is there for me every single day. And there is a difference between possession and taking care of someone. My man doesn't ask me where I'm at 24/7, what I'm wearing, who I'm with, who I can and can't hang out with, who I can and can't talk to, waits for me outside of my work. No, I'm with him every single day, and I love him so much, and we take care of each other. And that's the type of relationship that you want to be in. You want to be in a loving, happy, healthy relationship, not in a toxic relationship that's extremely unhealthy. You don't want to be in that type of relationship. I promise you, there are people out there that will love you for you, and you can get the help you need if you can't get over someone. I promise you. And Emma Jane Walker lives on. There's a dog park named after Emma, as she loved animals. There is a room at Children's Tennessee Hospital named after Emma, as she wanted to be a neonatal nurse. And there is a scholarship named after Emma, as she wanted to go to college to become a nurse. So Emma lives on, and her parents are telling people to live on through Emma and always be kind to people. And once again, my thoughts and prayers are with Emma's family. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, thank you all for the love and support. And for you, I am truly grateful. I will see y'all next week with more Cajun Crime Queen videos. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Have a good night. Bye.